Hey everybody, Kaiser here. I stated in my channel, which is still on as planned, that I will be doing Diablo 3 PvE and PvP videos, and I wanted to showcase some of the builds that I've been contemplating a lot for the game. I'm not boasting whatsoever that I know exactly what I'm talking about, because there's a lot of stuff that's been happening in the game. I'm keeping as active as possible, being as knowledgeable as possible with all the abilities that I can. So, you know, this build isn't perfect. This is what I came up with, though, that I feel I'll have the most fun with. This is basically my Witch Doctor control build. And what it's just going to do is control the opponent as much as possible, as often as possible, while maximizing a few main abilities to keep up passive skills and keep up damage. So, and once again, as I said, I'm not... I could be wrong. There might be better builds that you may prefer. Some people may prefer this build specifically. Before I get started, I just want to say, if you have any feedback, go ahead. You know, professional feedback. I don't need it. If you're gonna just come here to troll, thinking you know whatever it is that you may know, your comment's just going to be removed. That's how it is with everything, all my videos. But yeah, and as long as you guys have some nice feedback and it's professional, because we're professionals here, we're all adults here for the most part, I hope. But if it's not, then oh well. But this is basically what I came up with. So for my primary, my left click ability, I have Poison Dart. And basically what that's going to do is, it costs 24 mana. And let me go ahead and move this up a little bit. There we go. It's 24 mana, and it shoots a deadly poison dart that deals 100% weapon damage as poison and an additional 80%. But I have a glyph to Splinters, which basically shoots 3 darts at once that deal 70% weapon damage as poison each. So it gets about 30% extra weapon damage, and you don't have to worry about a dot. It makes it fully direct, so I really like that. And the 24 mana cost really isn't anything at all. And one of the main things I was contemplating besides this was actually Plague of Toads, but when I saw the videos on Plague of Toads, I wasn't a big fan on how slow they seemed to move, and they kind of were really sporadic. So I wanted to feel like I had more control, and I needed more damage. They only did about 130% weapon damage for a free cast, which this is 24% mana, but it's a little stronger, and I have more control on it, and they shoot faster. So I kind of prefer that. I'd rather have my opponent not have a chance to get out of the way as much as possible. I mean, they can still get out of the way, don't get me wrong, but yeah. For my secondary, I actually got the Wall of Zombies. It costs 63 mana with a 25-second cooldown. And I basically have Pile On, which summon a tower of zombies that fall over, dealing 800% weapon damage as physical to any enemies in the way and knocks them back. Now, I was really contemplating glyphs on this, and I know the cooldown... Oh, my bad. I know the cooldown it's a 25-second cooldown, but the whole point of this, there's a method for my madness here. And you kind of have to understand what I'm going for. The whole point of this is, down here I have Hex, which is on a 10-second cooldown, and it summons a fetish for 8 seconds that will hex enemies into chickens. Hex enemies are unable to perform offensive actions and take 12% additional damage. With my glyph Jinx, they take 24% additional damage. So what this is going to do is it's going to set me up to do major damage with the Wall of Zombies, because I'm going to be doing consistent annoying damage with Poison Dart. I mean, 200% weapon damage, that's not bad at all. Plus the 24% damage from Hex, that's going to be really nice, in my opinion. Now, you may disagree and say, well, just trash Wall of Zombies and get something else. But if you want to discuss that, go ahead and discuss it with me. If you think there might be something better I can use, okay. But you have to remember something, too, that I am trying to implement bad medicine, so maybe if there's another ability you think that'd be good, that's fine. But right now, I'm doing that through Poison Dart. Moving on. And I also got Horrify, 20-second cooldown. It's the 4-second Fear. It's just more control. Low mana cost, great ability. I got the actual Stalker on that instead of the extra 2-second. I ended up getting Stalker just in case to bridge the gap even further, to set me up and keep me in control. For my 5th ability, I have Grasp of the Dead, 75 mana cost. Not too bad. It's a little high, but not really. Depends. It's going to all come down to how it scales. 8-second cooldown. Hands reach out from the ground, slowing enemy movement by 60% and dealing 40% weapon damage as physical for 8 seconds. And I got the Unbreakable Grasp, slow him by 80%. The whole reason for that is to make sure, like I said, this has a 25-second cooldown. It's going to make sure that this wall of zombies hits. Because duels aren't going to last long, and the whole point of this is just to make sure that I do heavy damage at the start so I don't have to keep relying on maybe Poison Dart or whatever, even though I like the damage on Poison Dart, don't get me wrong, so that's beside the point. And other than that, I got Gargantuan. It's a 60-second cooldown, 90 mana cost. You summon a large zombie follower to fight for you. The Gargantuan attacks for 25% of your weapon damage as physical damage with every swing. Main reason I got him, keep up damage while I'm doing my Poison Dart, and he gets bonus damage from Hex. And with Unbreakable Grasp, you know, with the Unbreakable Grasp, the opponent's going to have to choose, well, I need to either get out of this slow, get this Gargantuan off my ass, and get after this Witch Doctor. So I'm putting pressure on them, inevitably. And even if they were to attack my Gargantuan, with my passive abilities, Jungle Fortitude, myself and my pets are all taking 20% reduced damage from all sources, period. So it's going to make him a little bit tougher, but with Bad Medicine coming off of my Poison Dart, what's going to happen with that is that's an extra 20% damage reduction, so my Gargantuan's actually taking 40% reduced damage, and myself as well. So he's going to be more annoying, he's going to be more irritating, and that's what I want it to be. But other than that, I got Spiritual Attunement, increase my maximum mana by 20%, regenerate 1% my maximum mana per second, sorry. And whole point, the only reason I got that is, like, duels, they're not going to last very long. Like 1v1s, they're not meant to last long, but if I can regenerate anything and keep my mana pool larger, then that's fine. Now, there are a lot of passive abilities to choose from, but I really like this one over maybe like Blood Ritual or Pierce the Veil, which you'd think maybe I would just get Pierce the Veil, but I don't like, that might cause me to go and that's the last thing I want. Definitely not what I want to happen. But overall, I like this build. I like how I have multiple ways to set up for a huge amount of damage. I like how I have two main abilities right here that he's going to keep up pressure. He's going to be able to stun them, so I'll be able to do another pile-on effect or have an easier chance on it. And I got Poison Dart, which is going to consistently be doing damage. So, I mean, you may think the build's not great. You know, I'm going to be playing a Witch Doctor. I'm learning as I go every day, as I stated. This is just what I prefer. If there's other builds you guys want to discuss or show me, and maybe say, well, hey, guys, maybe you should try this build because this is what you're going for, then that's great. But this is basically what I came up with. I'm going to be posting a couple more videos on other classes I'm going to be playing for PvP builds, and I'm going to be doing a PvE Witch Doctor build momentarily. Eventually I'll get it uploaded and everything, so yeah, go ahead and stick around. Like if you like. If you don't like it, okay. Post any professional feedback, any, you know, good feedback. I'm looking for mature feedback here, so take care, everybody.